Hello everyone, good day. For today's video, we are going to talk about Maria Josefa Gabriela Carino Silang. Gabriela Silang is perhaps the most well-known Filipino revolutionary leader and one of the few female revolutionaries to emerge during the Philippine War of Independence against Spanish colonial rule. And she was born in March 19, 1731. And she was the mestiza, or someone who has mixed heritage. Her father was a mixed Spanish and Ilocano, while her mother was a indigenous Tingyan, also known as Itneg. At the young Gabriela was separated from her parents at early age, and she was then raised by a priest who would later marry her off to a wealthy businessman named Tomas Milian in 1751. But Tomas died early in 1754. In 1757, Gabriela Carino Viuda de Milian married the anti-colonial revolutionary leader Diego Silang. Diego, a mixed Pangasinense and Ilocano, led one of the most famous uprising against Spaniards in 1762. Until his own death and assassination in 1763, it was a revolt that quickly spread from Ilocos to Pangasinan to Abra and Cagayan. Gabriela Silang is the best for continuing his revolt led by her late husband, Diego Silang. And she is the best remembered for avenging her husband's death by taking the role of commander and the leader of the movement to liberate their people. But the thing is, even before Diego's untimely death, Gabriela was already a leading figure in the movement, from being a most trusted advisor, strategizing the whole revolt to actual fighting in the front lines in their battle against Spain. After death of Diego, Gabriela led over 2,000 rebels and defeated the Spaniards in the Battle of Santa in the town where she was born and raised. She was fierce in the battlefield, which earned her the title the La Generala, which in turn gave us this immortalized image of Gabriela Silang as our first Filipino warrior wielding in a bolo on horseback. Gabriela continued the armed struggle to overthrow the Spaniards from northern Luzon. She dedicated her life to free her people from a chains of colonialism. And even with setbacks, such as the death of her husband, the failed siege of the city of Vegan, Gabriela never gave up. And she continued fighting to liberate her people until her own execution on September 28, 1763, at the young age of 32. Gabriela is an enduring symbol of the courage and the fierce leadership of the Filipino woman. She reminds us of the significance and the necessity of revolutionary women in our quest to end exploitation and justice in our societies. In our quest to liberate our people towards justice, lasting peace, and even though the Spaniards tried to humiliate and defame her by publicly hanging her in front of the crowded Plaza Vegan, Gabriela heroism and legacy remains powerful.
The Gabriela Silang Revolt, also known as the Ilocos Revolt, was a rebellion against Spanish colonial rule, led by Gabriela Silang, the widow of Ilocano revolutionary leader Diego Silang. The revolt took place in 1763 and was a result of the Spanish colonial government's abuses, injustice, and heavy taxation. However, the Spanish government launched a counterattack and was able to recapture Vegan. Gabriela Silang was captured and executed in 1763, along with several of her followers. The revolt was ultimately unsuccessful, but it inspired other Filipinos to continue their fight for independence from Spanish colonial rule. Gabriela Silang took over the leadership of the rebel forces after the assassination of her husband and successfully rallied the Ilocano people to fight against the Spanish. The rebels were able to capture the town of Bigan and expand their control throughout Ilocos.
So, this is the significance of Gabriela Silang. Gabriela Silang was the heroine and revolutionary leader of the Philippines during the Spanish colonial period. Her contribution and significance to Philippine history, including: first, she was the first Filipino woman to lead an armed rebellion against the Spanish colonizer. Second, Gabriela Silang played a crucial role in the Philippine Revolution by leading the Ilocano Revolt against the Spanish rule, fighting for the rights of the Filipino people and the liberation of the Philippines from colonialism. Third, she helped establish the first Philippine government, independent of Spanish rule, which was a significant milestone in the struggle for Philippines independence. Fourth, Gabriela Silang has been a symbol of women's liberation and empowerment, inspiring generation of Filipinas to break free from the shackle of patriarchy and fight for their rights. And the last, her bravery, courage, and determination inspire the youth of today to honor the legacy of our forefathers and continue to fight to our freedom and democracy. Nevertheless, her legacy lies on a symbol of resistance against the colonial oppression and a source of inspiration for future movements for Philippine independence.